Close that. You guys will see a black screen here for a second. I won't bring this back up. Hey guys, this is a what was he thinking for the IS-5. I know this is on a map that not many of you like, but it has its pluses and minuses to me. This is a game on Stalingrad, and what we'll see here is a tier 8 match with this reward vehicle. This Soviet heavy reward vehicle, and what we'll do here is we'll run through what exactly I was thinking in this battle, because we'll see a lot of maneuverability, more situational awareness stuff that, guys, you know me, that's always big with me, so that's what we're going to go through here. We're going to speed this up a little bit here just to start off, because we kind of start off a little slow. Good luck, have fun to everybody. And we can see some of our guys here typing in chat that they won't go to the beach. And we'll also keep an eye on the mini-map here, guys, because we need to watch what's going on around us. Since we are going to this side and we are top tank, it's kind of our duty on the team to be aware of how everybody else is doing around the map. But as we can see here, we'll take a quick break, pause, and show that most of the team is actually on the east side of the map here. Here we have artillery back here. He's going to set up in the corner. We have myself, a Tiger P, and I believe the T-25-2 will also help us out over here as well. The T-44 we're actually going to get cut off from, as you guys will see later in the match, but we'll speed this back up here again because it's going to be another few seconds here before we actually make first contact with the enemy. In the form of this T-29 that's going to be around this corner over here. So I see him, and I actually set up to line up on him here. Now this isn't a great angle. I didn't really expect this to penetrate, but part of this is to let the enemy know that I'm here. I want them to know that they just got hit by something that they didn't see, they can't see, and they're sticking their nose out a bit too far. So I want to keep them a bit on their heels here and have them know that, you know, they have to watch where they're sticking their noses out, because there are some more tanks up here. I don't want them just to rush this T-44 here that's off to our right. And I did look for some shots here. They are behind that hard cover there, but we're just going to keep moving forward. And you can see we've all bunched up together here with our guys. And taking a look at the mini-map here, guys, you can actually see on the east side of the mini-map, those guys over there are split up pretty evenly with everybody else around them. Now, one thing I mentioned during the stream, because I was streaming when I did this battle, was that I usually find guys with a shell to the face. I'm not the best at finding contact with the enemy, but as we can see here, we'll back up here another 20 seconds, and we'll just show you guys that quite often I do find guys with a shell to the face. And we'll see here this SU-100Y and the 101P show up. Now, thankfully, the 100Y, it doesn't aim very well. I know my tank doesn't aim very well, but I know I at least have some armor against that thing's gun, so I wasn't really expecting to take any damage there, and I didn't. I just took a random track shot, and it was only track damage. Now, the big thing here is this guy right in front of me. This 101P is somebody that I looked on the team list, and I was prepared to use heat rounds for, because my APCR at 221 pen is not going to go through him. So I do switch to heat here, and I get shot by the artillery, and I was actually in mid-process of loading the APCR. So if you guys actually have intuition and you're on something that loads a little slower, it might come in handy here, but we're going to use heat. And I can see that he is turning his herd away to look at the Tiger P that's coming up, or the Cromwell that's coming up on his side. And we put one into his side there. We take another hit from the artillery, and I did ping out the first time to the team that, hey, here's where the artillery is. He's sitting in J7. You know, guys, position yourself so you're not going to get hit by him too much. And I'm going to take a defensive stance. Like, you can see what this 101P is doing up there. He's taking a defensive stance. Now, what that means is that you're putting your side armor out. You're putting it on a high angle of attack so that there's very little chance of it being penned. And you guys will see me here also take this defensive stance where I'm going to put my side armor out. Now, this is a Soviet heavy tank, so there is a lot of spaced armor on the side of it, but also it also has a lot of track on the side of it, and that's exactly what I want to take the shots from this 101P. And there we go. I'll zoom out here, and you guys can see there's a weld right here on the side of the tank. And that's where the spaced armor is. So if you hit anything on the upper front plate here, it might go through, especially from the 101P if he's firing premium rounds. But we can see from our damage indicator down here that he is actually just firing AP rounds for now. So we need to pay attention to that. If he starts firing premium ammo, I need to change it up to change up what I'm doing. Now me, I'm kind of forced to fire premium ammo here to even be able to penetrate him. I'm not more maneuverable than him. I'm not faster than him to a great degree where I can actually get on his side. Plus, he's also heavily supported by all the tanks around him. You guys can see on the minimap there. I don't want to rush into him. I am forced to use premium ammo here. So we put one right into his turret face right here. There's the little black mark right there. And this is the main area I'm aiming for on this guy, because German tanks unfortunately do have a large weak area right on the face of their turret. The other weak spot on this tank obviously is the commander's cupola there. So we're going to play with those areas for the time being, and you guys can see he tracks me again, but then he pulls forward, exposing that commander's hatch, and I just put one right into it. And I'm looking over here to my right, and you guys will see me constantly checking over to my right, because I'm watching to see the guys on my right side to see how they're doing. For the most part, right now, we're trying to just attrition out the enemy team here before they press on our guys. Our east flank is not doing that great right now. We're actually down 2 tanks to 4. But we'll see that they do eventually here take out the Emil 1, and you guys can see while I'm tracked here, I'm not being idle. I'm actually saying I'm noticing this IS-2 right here. He has this nice gap right here, and the T-25-2 right behind my camera here is not actually paying attention to this IS-2. And I say, hey man, fall back. You got to fall back. And I try to actually dissuade the IS-2 from shooting the 25-2. Unfortunately, it bounces in. We do lose our tank right next to us. Now I see our Cromwell coming up here, and kind of reposition away from that IS-2 a bit to take on this 100-01P a bit better. And we can see that IS-2 is still on our flank, and he's still worrisome. We do take another arty round there, but I do put one in between the tracks of the 100-01P. And again, guys, here I'm aiming right for that weak spot right there. And I just got hit by artillery again. My crew's stunned, but I waited long enough in order to get a good enough shot to put it right on the face of that Tiger or 101P's turret. So we're going to back off a little bit, try to see how the east side is going here, and we're also going to try to reposition here on these two guys. And we come around the corner, 101 finally shows, or the 100Y finally shows up again, and we're going to take him out real quick. And again, another bounce from him. He's got a really powerful gun, but unfortunately it lacks a little bit in pen, especially on armor that's angled so steeply as with the IS-5. And we can see here again, I keep checking off to the right. All these guys are grouped up. They're all really healthy. I got a Cromwell here at 148, and I can see here these two guys back here are still pretty healthy, but they're very outmatched against these 3 tanks. So I see the Tiger over here. I see the ISU-122S come around, and he sticks his nose out too far. Watch sticking your nose out, guys. There's a technique that you can use that I often employ where it's as we're in a third-person camera here, if you're sitting on a corner or if you're going to come around a corner, just kind of do one of these maneuvers and then look to the side of your screen. If you look to the side of your screen, we can see here that we're actually revealing a lot more back here than we could see normally if we're just looking out over the gun or even out over the top of the turret. So use that camera, guys. Use that camera to look around corners and see what's going on around you to make sure that you don't take shots like that. So we're going to back up here a little bit. And pull forward more. The ISU looks like he wants to peek out, and we got our Cromwell going after the Tiger here, but the Tiger does take out the Cromwell with a nice shot from him. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to try to play the ISU to take a shot like he did right here, and we're going to take him out. And I look back here, and I see it's now 3-on-1, where the Tiger P just put a shot into that Hellcat up there, and I'll move this here a little bit so you guys can see better. And so we're looking at that. The Tiger P is basically a write-off right now. I don't like abandoning teammates because it could come back to bite me in the end or later on in the match. But at this point, I can't turn around and put my ass to the Tiger 1 behind me because there's a good chance that he is actually a bit more maneuverable and faster than I am. So he'll just be right on my ass anyway. So I decided the Tiger P's got a good bit of armor. He's got a good gun. He can hold out for a little while here while we go forward and try to take out this Tiger 1, this lone Tiger 1 over here. And I'm also looking at the minimap at this time to see that we've won the east side. They took out the list of tanks that they had over there, including that Emil 1. If that Emil 1 actually had survived, there's a good chance that we would have lost this match. And you guys will see why later. But I'm coming up here on this Tiger 1, and I'm looking around for him, and he just sticks his nose out here, and I put one into him and get a track shot in return, which I'm fine with. I'm just gonna sit here and let that repair. I keep checking the guys to my right. And I see the Tiger P's about to fall, and there he goes to those 3 tanks. So now I know I need to press that Tiger 1. I need to get away from these 3 guys behind me as much as possible to give myself as much time as possible to allow my allies to help. Now, I'm going to back this up here again. And we're going to see me just charge around this corner. So, I'm charging around this corner for a few things. Possibly if the Tiger 1's ammo rack is damaged, which I know at this point it's not because I'm the only one damaged him, but also because I want him to miss or bounce. And he bounces right there. So he's aiming, if we could take a look here, he's aiming right here to try to get that track shot to keep my gun from coming around that corner. He wants to get that track shot to keep me back there so that he can just put damage into me without me being able to return fire on him. Unfortunately, this doesn't work because I'm at a very steep angle and I just charge him. So here I am in front of him. I get around in on him and I'm just kind of trying to keep my angles shifting back and forth, which you guys will see me do this a lot more later on, but he's not really going to pen me. That is the standard Tiger gun. It's not the Tiger 2 gun. I really have nothing to worry about being penetrated from him, even though he's firing APCR, as you can see from that damage indicator below. Now you guys are going to see me look behind me to see where the status is of our guys here, and I can see the Achilles is about half health and Comet's pretty good. And I see the Hellcat show up here, so I'm going to actually turn back here and try to finish off this Hellcat with 1 shot. Now the Achilles is just kind of rushing in, and I'm not sure why he did this. He doesn't carry a gun that could actually kill the Hellcat in 1 shot anyway, and he doesn't know what's behind the Hellcat, so it's not exactly a good idea to do this, and you'll see that he gets obliterated right here. He gets a shot off on the Hellcat, but we are forced to finish him off. And I see the T-29's over here. He puts a shot into the Comet. So I rush him. I lock onto the T-29 so I can keep looking around me. And I'm just thinking, Comet, keep going forward. Comet, keep going forward. We got a guy coming in behind us. Comet, go, 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 go. I see the Comet's at a 1 shot here. So I'm trying to actually now just screw up the aim on T-29, which we do a bit, and he actually puts a shot into the building. But unfortunately, our Comet dies to that IS-2 that I'm trying to get us away from. So I'm going to hug this T-29 here, because he actually can't look down too well while looking behind him. And I'm going to unlock my auto aim here and actually just aim down on his rear plate to make sure it doesn't skip off his engine deck and just go and die into his mantlet. But we see the IS-2 is rushing around here. Now, I'm going to advance this just a little bit, and then I'm going to pause. And I want you guys to look here. This is all about knowing your enemy's tank. Look at his gun. Look at his gun barrel. That's not the fully upgraded gun. The fully upgraded gun has a giant muzzle brake on the end of it. This just has the little ring at the end for the reinforcement of the gun barrel. So I know, first, he doesn't have the reload. Second, he doesn't have the penetration. Now, I may still have the damage because it is another 122, because this is the Chinese 120 or IS-2 with the 122 or the 122. So this is all about knowing your enemy tanks. And if you guys can see here, this is actually the guy that we shot at earlier, because there's that black mark from my heat round that failed to penetrate. So what I'm going to do now is, I know he's not faster, I know he's not maneuverable, and I know he doesn't have the armor that I do. So I am just going to bully this guy. I'm going to bully the hell out of this guy. And he is actually realizing too, because what we're going to do here is we're going to step back here. He actually realizes that he's not going to have a good chance at penetrating my front hull. So he's going to try to race around the side here and get me to miss a round, which my round actually does bounce off his rear, and I do take a track shot. Now this is where I'm going to actually burn the repair kit and get on his face. And I'm just going to bully the shit out of this guy. I do just have him auto aimed, but if we look here on a side image, guys, the auto aim will always put it about right here. So this is where the gun is actually aiming, but that's actually aiming down into his upper front plate. So I really don't have to worry about too many shots bouncing off. But I am constantly wiggling back and forth, changing the angle of the front of my tank so that he doesn't get a good pen in. Now I have him trapped on his side, and what I did there was I actually am continuing to press into him because there's a lot of friction between tanks that reduces their maneuverability, so that he actually can't get off the front of my tank too easily unless he has a lot of horsepower. But we see myself here just wiggling back and forth, trying to bait it out a little bit, and that shot does bounce. And we'll see here that that shot is actually right here, so it kind of just skipped off the side of the front of his tank. But I mean, we're up 600 hit points on this guy, so we really don't have to worry about that. Don't have to get frustrated or anything like that. But we're just gonna keep bullying this guy over and over and over, and he's gonna get kind of stuck there on that dead Tiger P, a little Tiger P revenge on this IS-2, and we're actually going to take him out for a 7-kill game with over 6,000 damage, guys. This was a very nice game, kind of incorporating a lot of different tactics and techniques, even if you're fighting on city maps or even if you're fighting in the open behind cover. You know, that defensive posture that you guys saw earlier in the video, the bullying here right at the end, the making sure that you know what's going on around you guys. It's like if you guys are tracked or if you guys are repairing something, take the time, look around you, just you know, hold down that right mouse button, and that will lock your turret in position, or even auto aim on somebody, and then just look around you and be like, okay, here's what's going on over here, here's what's going on over there, and try to keep your heads about you guys. And if we actually look here. I'm down to 1 heat round, so ammunition management is also very, very important in these kinds of battles. But hey, if you guys have, you know, questions, comments, or concerns, that's what was he thinking for the IS-5. And I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more, you guys can always follow me on Twitch. I'm on Twitch a lot more now. You guys can come to twitch.tv/rscolddog, spelled just like it is in YouTube here, and I will see you guys on the next video. Cool, cool.